Let's learn how to make this amazing looking night sky animation in After Effects, which just looks super cool and doesn't need any plugins. So let's just go right into it, I'd say. So first of all, let's make a new composition. I'll just make it 5 or 10 seconds just for this example. And yeah, let's start by right clicking in here and go to new, and let's add a solid first of all. Then we can add another solid, and now we will focus on creating these nice clouds in the background, and then we will add these little star points afterwards and finalize it by adding this shine effect. But yeah, let's first of all focus on the clouds, and let's select the upper layer which we just created and add the turbulent noise effect, turbulent noise effect, and just apply it. And by default this looks already cool because we can see this cloudy structure, but let's increase the contrast a little bit to something like 115, which is just a little correction. And we can also increase the scale a bit, so let's just go to transform, open this up, the setting, and let's put in 220 for the scale, which just is a bit bigger. And yeah, we really like this, but let's add some more details by increasing the complexity to something like 20. And as you can see, now this will look better quality, more details, and that's exactly what we need. But you can also see that this is like super bright, and in this example it's like more in the background and a bit more decent. So yeah, let's select this layer again and press T on the keyboard to access the opacity setting and bring this one down to 20%. And now we can see this is dark and exactly what we want. And yeah, this is good, but it doesn't move at all. So we will now add some clouds on top of this, which will move, and maybe you can see it in the background. These are like really cool, and just give it a more realistic look. And for this one, let's add another solid again and also add a turbulent noise effect again. And yeah, let's create some clouds. First of all, we will increase the contrast to something like 950, so a super high value. Then we will decrease the complexity to 4 because we want more general clouds and not the super detailed clouds. And we can also open up the transform setting and just zoom this in a little bit, or actually a lot. So let's put something like 770 in here. And yeah, you see where this is going. So yeah, these will be the clouds which are on top of everything. And this is really cool. And now we want to animate these. So we have this nice evolution setting in here, which we can just put in a keyframe in here. So just click this thing until it turns blue. And yeah, make sure at the exact start of your animation. And then we can go to the end and just play with this value a bit. And you can already see this is nice, this is moving. This is exactly what we want, some moving clouds. And I suggest to make it not that fast like me, so maybe put in a lower value in here. But yeah, you can play with this, depending on how fast you want them to move. But yeah, as we can also see, this is like hiding our other clouds that we just made. So we want this to be on top of them, and we can easily achieve that by changing this mode from normal to add. And it may be possible that you can see this add setting in here, or this mode setting, and then you just have to click toggle switches down here, because we have 2 modes in After Effects. And yeah, just change this one to add then. And yeah, this is really good, but I think a little bit too sharp on the edges, so we can actually apply a Gaussian blur effect and just apply this and increase the value by a lot. So maybe we can put in like 200 in here, or maybe 250 even, depending on what we like. Oh, that's too much. Let's leave it at 200. This should work fine. So now we have this cool thing on top, but I think this is, obviously this is way too visible. So again, we can select this layer and press T on the keyboard to access opacity and bring this down to 10%. And yeah, this is exactly what we want. Now we can see that we have some, really, you have to look close to see that there are clouds, but this is like the whole sense of this one. So this should look super cool, as you can see. And yeah, that's great. Now we just need some stars. So let's just right click in here and add another solid. And yeah, now we will make some nice stars. Make sure this is on top of everything. And for this one we can just look for the starburst effect. And now if we would apply this, we can obviously see that these are way too many stars and they will come out super fast if we would play this, as you can see. And they don't have the color that we like, so obviously we have to change a few settings. And we can just start by decreasing the speed by a lot. So I mean not half it, but put something on here like 0.03. And we can then see that these are still way too much stars. So we can increase the grid spacing to 9. So we will have less of them and more space between them. But I think these are way too big, so let's also put in 30 for the size. And this is perfect already. But as you can see, these are really dark, these stars, and actually stars should shine. So let's add a bright tone effect, which will allow us to change the shadows, so the darkest spots of these stars. And we can just click on it and give it a more white color. But I think just pure white is too bright, so let's just keep it some nice grayish thing somewhere in the middle, but I would tend more to the lower third, just like this. And then we can just hit OK. This is perfect basically. But we now have a few of these background stars, but maybe we also want a few stars which are like a little bit more bright and a little bit more in the front. So we can just select this layer and press Ctrl D on the keyboard to duplicate this one. And these now we want to make brighter, so just give it like a more bright gray, but not fully white I suggest. But we also want fewer of these, so we can maybe even increase the grid spacing for them. So now we just have, if we would deactivate this and activate this, just a few of these. And if we increase the grid spacing, we have to decrease the size, so they won't just grow. So maybe we can just turn these down a little bit, just like this should look fine. And now you can see, we just get a few more interesting ones. Maybe put it even more down and just put in like 15 in here. Oh, that's not possible. That's weird. But then we maybe have to decrease the grid spacing a little bit. So let's just put in 25 in here and this should work fine. So as we can see, now we have these more interesting stars. Or actually, let's decrease the grid spacing to 20. So these are not that big. But now this should look perfect. But we can also add another effect, which is the glow effect. So just search for glow and just add this. And for this one we can just increase the intensity a little bit and also mainly the radius. So just put this to something like maybe 30 should look well, and intensity you can just play around with. But I think this one looks super cool. And that's already it for the sky. But as you can see, this is a little bit inconsistent, or at least I think it looks a bit random, and maybe we want to give it some color. So what we did in here, we added some adjustment layer. So if you would delete this on, you can see this will turn gray, but we like this bluish thing. So we can just do this in here. So let's right click in here, go to new and add an adjustment layer. And as you may have seen, we just need the tritone effect again. And this time we can play with the midtones, which will basically decide the whole color of this thing. So as you can see, I like to go with some dark bluish, but not that saturated maybe. But here you are fully free, so you can just play around with this setting a lot. Maybe, it's difficult. It's a difficult one, I admit. But maybe you have, find the most nicest color. And whatever, let's just go with this one and press OK. And now in hindsight, I think these particles may be a bit too strong. So we could just press T on the keyboard and decrease the opacity a bit. Whatever, however you like it, or decrease the glow intensity. But that's completely up to you. I think this should look, this is fine. But this is perfect. That's exactly what we want. And yeah, we can go with this one. And by the way, if we would play this, you could see that this is moving slowly towards us, which I think is just super cool. We fully forgot this, but yeah, this is super nice. And yeah, what is missing? For once, we have this nice flare which just goes up and down. If we want to make like a title animation like this one, we can also add the text, and I will quickly show you how to do both. And these are super simple and super quick. So let's right click in here, add another solid, and just hit OK. And now we can just go to the Effects and Presets tab and look for the light, or what's the name again? Let's look for flare maybe. Yeah, it's lens flare, and just apply it on here. And we have a few settings by default. You can pick whatever you think looks good. I think I'll just go with the first one, or let's just check which one we used here. Here we used the one in the middle, so let's just do it here as well. And as you can see, we have this midpoint in here, and this one we want to animate, so we can just go to the beginning of our animation and bring this to the upper left corner and just put in a keyframe here for the flare center, and then we can just go to the end, and now we can just bring this down. If we hold shift, it's a straight line, just like this. And now again we can see that this is hiding everything, but this can again be turned off by changing the type here, the mode, from normal to add. And now we got this one, and yeah, I think this is super cool. We have this super nice lens flare going on. And for this one, if we wanted to change the color, we can also add a tritone effect, and maybe we can just select the color and go to color picker and change the color from the sky for the midtones. And yeah, this should look really cool. But I think actually in the example all this looked better. I think I did a better job with the coloring in here. So for example, here we need a brighter color, and also I think let's put the adjustment layer below here. I think for what did I pick for the sky? I want to see that this one. Let's just copy this and see if this would work better. Yeah, that's way better. Okay, if you want, you can just copy this color code. But yeah, and let's also copy this one for the midtones, and then maybe just bring this up a bit so this is fitting on the color palette. But yeah, this looks cool. I'm fine with that. And the final touch would be adding the animated text, which you can just see got this blurry effect going on. And this one is super simple. Just right click in here, go to text, and I'll just add sky, for example, again. Then we can press S on the keyboard to exit the scale settings and scale this up. And we can also go to align on the right here and align it to the center, both horizontally and vertically. And if you can't see this tab, just go to window and make sure align is checked. And yeah, now we got a nice preset for this animation thing. And I think it's called Jiggle, or no, it's called Jiggy. So just apply this one on here, and now we can see if we apply this and play this, we have this nice blur animation, which is a bit strong by default and super fast. I don't know if we can pre-render it real quick, but you would see that by default. Oh god, this hopefully won't crash. Okay, After Effects just crashed, and yeah, now we're back, but we only have this example because we lost our progress. But as I said, the text settings by default are a bit strong, and we can easily correct this by opening up the text effect. Then if we open up the Jiggy animator thing in here, and then we can already see these values. And by now you should see in your composition this function in here. And I don't know what the default values are, I think like 5 and 100 or something like that. And if you want to be it like the example, just put in 2 in here and 33 in here. And that's it already. Now you have the super cool looking sky animation for the text. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching and see you next time.